What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Making It Look Easy. As you can see, we in Vegas for the Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford fight. T-Bud Crawford, that is. Of course, I got money on T. But just want to touch on yesterday. We had the grand arrivals, and it was definitely grand for sure. I got to meet Turkey. I got to shake hands with Canelo, brush shoulders with Bud. And the cool part about it is I got to hang out with Blue Bud. Now, if y'all follow boxing, then you have to know who Blue Bud is. So yesterday, all in all, was just a great day. By looking at both of the fighters, I can see where people can get the whole weight class thing, talk about size and all that, but to be honest with you, I didn't see much of a size difference at all. I will say Canelo is a bit more dense, and he has a really tight handshake. But as far as being a size difference, not really. And that's in favor of Terence Crawford because he's the one that's moving up to weight classes. So that's my analysis on that. But this is one of those fantasy fights. So yes, we're making a big deal about it because how often do you get a fight where it's a what if? Like, this is a what if fight that's actually happening. So yeah, there's a lot of people flying into Vegas, a lot of celebrities. And I will say this, on the celebrity tip, now, I don't really be tripping about that shit for real. But I will say, I've been around a bunch of celebrities. And maybe it was because of it being Canelo's moment. But the aura that was around him when he came in the room was something I ain't never really experienced before. Like, he looked like money, smelled like money, walked everything like he was. It was interesting to see that and feel that. He's still just another man to me. But I will say, it felt like a different atmosphere when he was in the room. And that was pretty cool. But I'm still going with Bud, though. Bud has more in his arsenal. His feet, especially. We can't say IQ. IQ won't be fair to say. Because if we say IQ, then we discrediting Canelo's experience. You got to think, Canelo has more knockouts than Crawford got fights. You got to put that into perspective. So we can't say IQ. We can't say power. We can't say speed. We can't say footwork. We can't too much say craftiness. Canelo is very crafty with his hands. He might not be the best with his feet, but his hands is very crafty. So this fight comes down to best of the best. Who's the best of the best? That's really what it boils down to at the end of the day. And my reason of going with Crawford is, for one, because he's a black fighter. Just gonna tell you straight up. But not just because he's a black fighter, because if he doesn't match up to Canelo, then he don't match up to Canelo, and I'll be going with Canelo. But with it being a 50-50 fight, I'm going with the brother. But I am a fan of Canelo. I am a fan of Canelo for sure. But here's my thing with Canelo. He talk about elite fighters, right? Let's just say since Caleb Plant, who has he fought? And you can't say Charlo, because Charlo, he came up 2 weight classes. It ain't like Charlo was calling Canelo out. They just won at the negotiating tables. So it's gonna be interesting. I got Bud with just a pure win. Bud could probably get knocked down, but I'm gonna go with Bud for the win. I want to say Bud for the stoppage, but I can't necessarily say how. I can only imagine it. So I'm gonna go with Bud for the win. But I want to say now, shout out to both of those guys for making fans like me happy, because I flew all the way out to Vegas to come out here and witness this greatness and be in the atmosphere of boxing and people that love boxing. It's not always, you know, when it comes to like really loving boxing, a lot of people don't love boxing enough that they can talk about boxing and be educated enough to have that conversation. So it's good to be around people that can actually talk logical boxing. So, but if you haven't already, please like. That's the least you can do. At least like and subscribe to the channel. This is making it look easy. We're gonna see you around.